Formerly the director of the Beijing LGBT Center, he is the author of Happy Together, 100 Queer Films, China's first anthology of international LGBT cinema. Please join me in welcoming Popo.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you for joining and Mike. I will have some introduction about myself, and also our organization in China and the LGBT movement. Then I will we have a screening of the 2 short movies by me, and then we will have a Q&A. So yeah, my name is Popo. Yeah, I know some young generation here in the US, some people call policeman Popo, right? So and people say meet me, they're all scared looking at me, and I told them, how old are you? Show me your passport, show me your ID. But if there is only people study German here, you might know in German, Popo means buttock, ass. So I'm Popo fan, so my German friends said it's very professional gay name. And I will tell you something besides this. And when I entered American this time, the customs officers gave me a lot of trouble. Yeah, he's Popo. He's a real Popo. because I didn't take my flight ticket to return to China, so he asked me why I'm here. I just showed him the invitation by Long Beach Queer Film Festival. But he has 2 questions for me because the first one is I look too young to be a filmmaker, so he doesn't trust me. I'm making documentary. The second one is he asked me how many times I have been to the US. I said this is the second time, and this is the first time I was here last year. I was doing internship in the LA Gay and Lesbian Center. So this customer officer just asked me, am I making documentary about a lesbian? So this is a very interesting question to me. So I said, actually I'm making documentary about a gay, lesbian, transgender, and bisexual. So, and I'm gay myself. So the officer is very surprised looking at me. Actually, he's American Chinese. And he was just shocked that there are gay people in China, and we also making a documentary about this. And so today it's a very good opportunity for me to tell American people what we are doing. So yes, I'm gay, and I have this year I'm 26 years old, but I have been gay for 23 years. Because I remember that when I was 3 years old, my parent, I was sitting in my mom's chest. She was holding me I was watching television, and there was a very sexy guy in the television, and I got excited in that time. So when when I come out to my mother 2 years before, my mother just said, oh, because you watched too many gay films, so you become gay. So I just talked with my mother that though I watched a lot of gay films, but most of, maybe 19% of the films in our life are straight. So especially in China, gay film is banned. So I watch, most of us just watch more straight films than gay films, but there are still a lot of gay. So after this, she just understand what's gay film about. And before when I was in, so you know, I was born in countryside of China. So you can imagine that if you were staying in countryside to be a gay, my parents just asked me you are gay, but we don't have any other gay in the countryside. And in our village, there is everyone just got married. Every man just got married. I just told my mother that we have gay. We do have gay in this village, but most of them just got married and they live very hard life with their wife. And it's interesting that my father just I just reminded my father about one of his friends. He just told me that one of his friends doesn't have sex with his wife, and they always fighting. And my mother also told me that one of her friends he do a lot of female issue like. So my parents just asked me, are they gay? I think, yeah, probably. So Mom, do you want me to live like them? My parents said no. So, and I told my parents that I studied very hard to want to go to university just because I don't want to stay in the countryside. I will have a hard life there. When I was in middle school, and because I realized my sexual orientation when I was a small kid, so I was quite confused. I lived a very long time, very difficult time until I come to Beijing. So when I was in university, I tried to look for any book about this, and I find a book about how to dating, and it's a very old book published in 1980s in China. So there is a section about homosexual, but he told me how to correct homosexual, how to become heterosexual. So it was a really difficult time for me. So when I finished high school, I had to make a decision which college I want to go to, because I was really bad at math, and I just read an article in a magazine that told me if you go to Beijing Film Academy, they don't request your math grades. So I just tried, and I was very lucky because it was the only film school in China, so it was very difficult to enter. But I just did that. The first year when I was in Beijing Film Academy, I know nothing about film. So when my friends were talking about films, I just know I didn't watch a lot, so it was I have no idea about a lot of films. So I was wondering, did I make a mistake that should I go to some other department like one thing was really important to me that when we were in Beijing Film Academy, one of our teachers was really open-minded. She just encouraged us to talk about LGBT on her class. One of our classmates, he was really homophobia, and he just said a lot of bad things about gay. So, but he didn't know that we have 15 students in one class, and there are 3 lesbian and 2 gay guys. So 1/3 of classmates are LGBT. Fortunately, it's maybe not fortunately. So I moved to the same room with this guy, and I was always watching gay movie in the television. And sometimes he was attracted by 2 beautiful lesbians in the film. So he come to join me, and sometimes I recommend him to watch gay film. Like I will tell him, oh, this film is very good. It's made by very famous film master, Gus Van Sant, or like Almodovar. You have to watch it. As what I did, so he watched some gay film, and and just after a year, he has totally different mind about LGBT, and he becomes a very gay-friendly guy from a very homophobia guy. So now if anybody talk about say bad things about gay, he will just fighting with them. I started to realize what is how to use film to change people's mind. It won't change people's sexual orientation. In 2005, we tried to hold the first Beijing Gay and Lesbian Cultural Festival, but we were just shut down by the policeman several days before the festival. We tried to continue to make it happen, so we just change our venue, but continue, stay in the same time. But the policeman come again, and I was there. And so next time we try to make it happen in another time, but he stay in the same place. Then the policeman come again. So we were shut down by the policeman for 3 times. I was really, I feel really sad about that, and I started to realize we LGBT people are still living very difficult, not very good environment in China. And in 2007, I published a book, just this book, and I would like to donate this book to the library of the year, if possible, if you would like to accept it. So I got a chance to go to visit Taipei, and in Taipei I saw a lot of LGBT events there, and the people there are very gay-friendly. But and we meet a lot of activists, there is hotline, and there is a gay LGBT bookstore. So when they talked with us about the situation in Taiwan 15 years ago, I just find that it's very similar with mainland China. So I didn't, I can't fall asleep in that time. I was thinking if I go back to Beijing, we should do something to change to improve the environment. So when after we left school, most of our classmates, they were writing screenplay. So my classmates, some of them are really rich now because they can get $1,500 US for one series. So some of them just bought cars and even a house in Beijing. I did that when I was in university. So I saved some money and I bought a camera and a computer. So I started to do documentary filmmaking. And I also, as I become more and more active in the LGBT community in Beijing, so some other activists also try to push me to do more, to get more involved with the LGBT movement. So I also sometimes help the Beijing LGBT Center to do the fundraising party. Also last year, I got a chance to come to visit the LA Gay and Lesbian Center to do internship there. We have so I was like I started to make documentary on different topics, like coming out story and same-sex marriage, and also this time I come to the Long Beach Q Film Festival. We're screening a film called Be a Woman. It's about the transgender in China. And we also take this film during screening in China. We're helping to more than 20 cities. Each time we we will find venues like LGBT center or gay bar, lesbian bar, and university to do film screening and Q&A. Because gay movie was banned in China, we can't play it in the official cinema. So we have to find a way to let people know that what we are doing through film. What else? So I would like to share two of my short movies. One was called New Beijing, New Marriage. It's a same-sex marriage campaign happens in Beijing. Another was called Flowing Rainbow. It's an event, rainbow riding on International Day against homophobia and transphobia. So let's see one of them. We want to wear a t-shirt to tell people what we want. I don't have enough t-shirt to give you guys, but I have some small badge saying the same slogan. So if any people want to ask questions, and I can give you guys a badge. By the way, this t-shirt, the Oscar winner, Tilda Swinton had wear it. When she was in Beijing, I know her assistant. So I got a chance to meet her, and I gave a t-shirt to her as a present. And she came to Beijing for the British Scottish Film Festival, and she just wear the t-shirt on the closing ceremony. So there was some Chinese stuff. Just asked her, "Do you know what's its meaning? Are you cheated by a Chinese guy?" She said, "I know exactly what he's saying, and this is what I want to say." And she took a picture and asked her assistant to send a picture to me. I feel very touched.
Thank you, Popo. At this time, I'd like anyone with questions to come up to the front. We have 2 mics set up on either side of the main aisle here. So if anyone would like to come up and state their question, that would be great. And also, we have questions on index cards for those who are shy of the microphone. If you'd like to pass them up, we can take a look through them and see if Popo is able to answer a few of them. Thank you.
I wanted to congratulate you. Is it on? Okay, no, it's fine, Saskia. I wanted to congratulate you for those remarkable films and for all your activism. And I have 2 questions. I wanted to know, is it legal in China to be queer? And if so, do you get any support from the government? I was very encouraged to see an activist saying we want to establish an LGBT center in each major city in China, but does the Chinese Ministry of Education or the Interior or the local provinces, do they provide any financial support for the movement?
首先 I might need some help. In China, before 就是在1997年之前，中国是有那个流氓罪。流氓罪你知道怎么说吗？
Before 1997, there was a law in China which there is a so-called hooliganism applied to gay people.
所以有些特别是男同性恋，经常在公园里面被抓，然后被抓进那个警察局里面。
Some gay men who were meeting each other in parks were frequently arrested.
但是1997年之后取消了这个流氓罪，然后在中国的话，那个同性恋就没有就是同性恋不再非法，但是也无法可依。
This so-called hooliganism regulation was cancelled after 1997. However, it is still not clear in the law that it's legal to be gay.
所以现在在中国的话，强奸男人是不犯罪的。
And now in China, it's not illegal to if a man raped another man.
然后在2001年的时候，中国政府正式取消了卫生部取消了对那个同性恋的病理化，就是同性恋不再是一个疾病。
In 2001, the Chinese Ministry of Health officially took homosexuality off the list of mental disorders.
但是它还保留了一个，就是有一项是，如果是有那个自我障碍的同性恋还是需要就是有心理疾病，自我认同障碍。
However, still, if a gay person has problem with self-identity, this condition is still on the list of mental disorders.
Thank you, Xiaoshan. I gave you trouble, please. There are some flyers of our organization that you can text some. There is some background and also like what we are doing in China. And the second question is about is there how we get like a support from the government. I think so far we didn't get for our organization we didn't get support from the government directly. In China, gay rights, LGBT rights movement is also still very sensitive to the government because all the civil society movements are very sensitive because the government are afraid that their people, Chinese people, got rights. That means the government loses rights. Yeah. So it's very difficult to do this. And the only opportunity for LGBT people is the disease of AIDS. The government has some money and also from like a global foundation or some other international foundation that will give money to the CDC, Central Disease Control, to help the HIV prevention. But what we are doing, like the events like the same-sex marriage campaign and the rainbow cycling, we didn't get any support from that. And based in LGBT Center, we once cooperated with the Chinese CDC for lesbian health test. We only got some support from them, but most of the time, the government just gave us trouble. Just last year, the policemen just come to the center. They want to check everybody's ID, and they want to scare the people who come to the center. So I was doing the executive director in that time. So I just refused them to check the people's ID. And in that time, it's because most of the LGBT people are still in the closet. They don't want to other people to know this. And also this year, the Beijing LGBT Center also get trouble that the policemen give pressure to our landlord that you can't rent. Persuade him not to rent the house to us. So, but we will try to find a way to make the campaign, make the event happen, and also invite as many people as we can to come. Like for the sex marriage campaign, we didn't tell any people until we have it happen, but we invited 30 media to come, and also we gave volunteer training about how to deal with risk. We tell them if the policeman come Actually, we did some research. We find in Tiananmen Street, they are no, they don't have a policeman there, but they only have some security guy you see in the film. They even helped us to organize events, and also we training the volunteer. If the policeman come, you just tell them that we are just friends taking pictures. We are not organizing events, and also if we will shut down in that place, we also have a backup place. So it's kind of you have to be have a special skill to do LGBT events in China. Yeah. Thank you.
So in the video, the one girl said that they had tried to go to Tiananmen in 2005, and you weren't able to until 2011. And you said that at other events, like the police would come. Would people actually get arrested at all, or would they simply just kind of tell you to leave, or what exactly happened that you had to try twice?
If the policeman, as I told you, actually they decided, they were talking about to go to Tiananmen Square in 2005, and they find they have an idea that it was too dangerous in that time, because I think we can't imagine that we can make this kind of event happen in Beijing if it was in 10 years or 5 years ago. We already have very improved a lot these years, but there is still some risk. Like in 2005, especially, I told you about the first Beijing Gay and Lesbian Cultural Festival. It was shut down by the policemen for 3 times. The policemen, they will come usually just several hours before the event, so you don't know what they will do. But they won't catch the people into police station, because we have a lot of foreign media beside us. So that they really hate foreign media, but they can't do anything with that. And also, one thing that we'll do is they will check the fire engine in the place. They will say it's not safe to have so many people here, and you can't do this event. Just tell everybody that you have to go. So usually they won't say because you are gay, because this is a gay and lesbian event, you can't do it. And this year, the 5th Beijing Queer Film Festival, I was also one of the organizers. It was shut down just 3 days before we planned it had to happen. So they will just when they come to talk with us, they just said you don't have a license. If you want to have a film festival, you have to have a license in Beijing. But we all know that if we apply that, we will never get that. But after this, we just had because we already have Plan B, so we are more smarter than 2005. So we just moved 7 places in 5 days. And we emailed our member to how to come to our screening. So we got a very good effect. We got very good feedback. Yeah.
We heard of a lot of supportive voices in your first film, and I wonder whether you just select these people on streets randomly, or you intentionally select more supportive voices.
Yeah. I almost put everybody who I interviewed in the film.
So randomly?
Yeah. So it's just a very. So I just meet everybody by chance. I didn't select them. You will see there were also some people really against LGBT. But I will say for the Chinese people, they really we have kind of a culture that you don't, if it's not your business, don't leave that away. So, we asked a lot of people about that in the first, we just asked a lot of people. They just say, "Oh, I support the gay people. It's okay to be gay." Like, so we feel that we don't have a challenge. So finally, we decided to ask them if your only son or daughter is gay or lesbian, will you be supportive? So finally, we got their true idea about this topic. Yeah, and I think Chinese people are, because we don't have a very popular religion, so they don't have Chinese people they are more open about the LGBT than the government. Only the biggest problem is the government has very bad has a lot of censorship on this topic. So yeah, and also for Chinese parents, for Chinese people, the biggest problem is family issue. That if their kids come out to their parents, there will be a big accident.
First of all, thank you for speaking openly about yourself. I guess your movies sort of brought some light on a forgotten corner in society, but my question is, are you concerned that your movies might encourage small children to kind of want to try and become who they really aren't, because not everybody realizes that they are gay or lesbian at 3 years old?
Sorry, okay. Yeah, I receive this question a lot in China, especially when I'm doing event in university. But I didn't ever answer this question in English. I didn't have a try. I'll tell you that I'll tell my mother also has the same idea that if you watch a gay movie, you become gay. I told her that most of the people are still most of the gay people, they watch a lot of straight television and film, but they are still gay. So I find that the sexual orientation could not be changed by film. I know some friends that will say, I didn't realize my sexual orientation until I watched the film Brokeback Mountain. But I don't think they will change their sexual orientation by the film, but they realize the film just reminded them, just wake up their mind that they are actually gay before they watched the film, but they just didn't realize this. I think this is the point.
Okay, another question. You mentioned that the family issue in China is the biggest problem for most LGBT people, and I strongly agree. So I wonder whether the activists have ever considered to set up organizations to educate and help the parents whose children are LGBT people, because the generation of our parents may care more about the 面子 than our generation, and if they have children who are LGBT, they may experience greater pressure than we do. And just as one of the brides mentioned in the movie, she said that I don't mind to come out to the public, but I do mind how can I let my parents know?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's what I want to say, because my new project is about P-Flag China. I know you guys know there is P-Flag in America and Canada and in some other Western country, but in 2008, P-Flag in China was founded in China. And since there is a very famous mother of gay, her name is Wu Youqian, we can all call her Mama Wu. So I was making a documentary about Mama Wu, and I was together with her in the subway, and even sometimes she will be recognized by people in the subway and talk with her. And One of my documentary called Chinese Clothes Addict also talked about the coming out story, and I attended an independent film festival in Beijing before I come to the U.S. And I did a research on with the audience that, and I just asked them if you're gay or if your son or daughter is gay or lesbian, will you be supportive to them? And I was surprised that 80% of people just raised their hand. Probably because people who come here, they have a more open mind than other people. But actually the festival was most of the audience, they are straight. And after I'm back to China, I will go to Shanghai for a week because there will be a conference of PFLAG China. They will invite about 100 people to join the conference, including more than 20 couples of parents who has gay or lesbian kids. So they will. I heard that usually they will cry. There were a lot of tears here in the conference. I hope there will be more smile and love in this year. What PFLAG is also doing, they have a hotline. Mama will pick up the call from all over China to answer their question about coming out. So I think there is already a lot of things doing in China, and PFLAG was based in Guangzhou in China, and they are more mothers come out to support LGBT, but I don't know why they were always mothers mothers to support, probably because both gay and female got very big pressure from the society, from the very male-list society.
我问一下，就是 can anybody help me translate that into English?
Or you can translate your own question.
我想问一下，就是那个刚才看了你的电影啊，你也提到了，就是以后想在中国每个大城市都开设这个，都能够开办这个同志中心。那么这是你们短期目标了，是吧？那么就是想问一下，就是你们以后的活动有什么想法？就是短期目标、中长期有什么目标？尤其是在这个国家立法层面有没有什么想法？因为这个恐怕是最大的障碍。你刚才提到了这个老百姓其实对这个事儿是不是太反对，主要是政府。而且你也提到政府态度有转变，有什么样的转变？你预期在未来像你们开展活动的时候，政府的态度会有一个什么样的转变？总之就是你们打算采取什么样的方式来 make the change？
你要自己翻译一下英文吗？
Just briefly, I was asking him about his short-term and long-term plans, because you mentioned in the movie, in the short film, about the wishes to have LGBT centers established in every major city in China. What else? Especially when it comes to national legislation, because you mentioned that the biggest resistance is not from the people of China, but the government. What plans do you have to change the attitude of the government? You said that the government has actually changed in its attitude over the past few years. Well, where are these changes? And what changes do you expect the government will make in the future? Or some of just what kind of things do you like to do to make the change?
Okay. I want to say something about the Beijing LGBT Center probably because you guys are not familiar with that. When I come to the LA Gay Lesbian Center as an intern, I was really surprised they have 5 buildings in the city. But Beijing LGBT Center only have 2 rooms, and sometimes there is gay male course every Sunday morning, and there is also mental health counseling in Sunday morning. So when there was they had to close the door and stay keep the gaming cars outside, and it was just a very limited place, and we have and the rent of Beijing is really crazy. So Beijing LGBT Center was founded in 2008, and I think before it was probably the first LGBT center in China. And now I know that in Guangzhou and Chengdu and Kunming, they also they also have the LGBT center now. So I know some story. Some people told me that when they first time come to Beijing LGBT center, they were outside of the door. They were not able. They were even not able to enter it. They were scared of what was inside, and they were worried if they come in and they will come out. Maybe some more people know them, and a lot of people just know the first gay and lesbian people beside him or herself. For the change, I always believe that change can happen. We can make the change from the bottom to the top. I don't know if I'm saying the right way, but a lot of people just talking with us that you should try to reach the top leader of the country and you should persuade them to change their idea. But I don't think it will be possible for us so far. And as the whole system of the Chinese government, the society, is not healthy. It's not a good system. So I think if we want to change, we want to change the situation of the LGBT in China from 根本上面解决
fundamentally change the Chinese system.
We should change the whole society. So that what I was always thinking that we should also cooperate with other civil society organization, like people who works for
people with disabilities.
Yeah, people with 还有那个民工
and migrant workers.
还有就是被拆迁的人
and people who are forced out of their residence because of government construction plans.
Yeah. So I always pay a lot of attention to their situation. And I have some documentary friends. They were making a documentary about them. That was even more dangerous than mine. So, but there is also some different opinion with this. Like some of the activists, LGBT activists in China, they think because LGBT topic is safer than the other, it's not that dangerous as the several topic I mentioned before. So they said we can leave that away. But I just don't agree with them. I always persuade my friend, some other LGBT activists to together with the other NGOs in China, and we can make our community bigger and stronger. So I think this is what we can do. And some of my friends asked me if when we will have a sex marriage, we will have a gay pride in China. I just answered them, but not very seriously. I said probably 30 years ago, 30 years later, because our generation will be the leader of the Chinese government, and the old guys just died. So we will have as I told you that when I was doing the research to the audience, that 80% of them just raise their hand to support their gay and lesbian kids in the future, probably probably some of them really will really get a kid. But also another friend of mine just reminded me that people who want to do political in China, they are not very as open-minded as us, because they have to join the party, the Chinese Communist Party, and they have to trust a lot of weird things. But hopefully there will be more open mind.
First, thank you so much for coming here and doing this.
Thank you.
And if we wanted to see more of your documentaries, or maybe some of the other documentaries you were talking about, how would we do that?
So far, we have a lot of screening in China, but we also sometimes have a screening in International Film Festival. And some of our documentaries are online, like the Flowing Rainbow is online. You can check it on YouTube. So YouTube was banned in China, but I just use a VPN to upload it for foreign audience. But actually, most of our documentary we didn't put online partly because of the copyright issue. Because some of the film I didn't have the copyright totally, and my producer don't want to do that, and also because some people in the documentary, they don't want to, they didn't agree us to do that because it might, they might forced to come out to their parents. That is what we don't want to do. But if you really want to see more of my documentary, you can take this flyer and keep in touch with me.
My question is there any border crossing movement to create a network or networks among, especially among your neighboring countries, including my country, Japan,
creating network, international network. Yeah. This is I'm not so international, so but some of my friends attend the international conference very often. They will go to there are several like a conference from of university to give a presentation about the LGBT movement. Like in the documentary, you see the common language director Bing Xu. She attend a lot of the conference, and there are also organizations like Yoga, International Gay and Lesbian Association. I attended the conference, Yoga Asia conference last year in Indonesia, Surabaya. It's the second biggest city of Indonesia, and we went there. We were very excited about the conference, but this is the day before we come. We just know that the local Muslim organization was very angry with this conference. So they said they will have a parade and against us, and they even might use Quran to stop the conference. So it was my first time to do presentation in the international conference. And I was really scared. I was talking, I was speaking in English, and I was also looking around if there is something happens. So just finally the conference just happening the first morning. Then the local Muslim conservative Muslim organization just came and stopped us, and we didn't have internet in the room in the hotel, and we didn't know what happened. We can only see that more and more people come to the lobby, and we just opened the television, and we saw that every channel was doing live show downstairs, and we just local organizer just talked with them, and finally we we got to leave the city, but they say don't think that you can do it in other city in Indonesia. We have more than 10,000 members in Indonesia that will remember your face. So, but it's a bad example. But actually, we do as a filmmaker myself. We already try to build an international network. Like we will send a lot of LGBT film festival that just asked us for a scanner of the Chinese queer films. And like last year, the New Beginning, New Marriage also had a screening in Tokyo. There is an Asia queer film festival, and we also recommend some other film to them. And also we have recommended films that was selected by Copenhagen Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, and also Torino LGBT Film Festival. So I think we already have a lot of, and even this year the Queer Film Festival in South Africa tried to connect us to ask for films from China to go there. So I think it's more and more. Yeah, and after this trip, I will, in the end of October, I will go to Denmark to attend a conference in the second biggest city of Denmark to talk about LGBT films making in a gender and women conference. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about the mic issue.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just come here if you can't stay now. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. People who ask a question can take the badge from you.
So I think it's always easier to watch this group of people from a distance, but how I would ask a suggestion, how should we really, maybe someday we will have a friend that is gay or lesbian, and how should we get along with them, not offend them unintentionally. Yeah. Any suggestions? Thank you.
That's for you. The answer is very easy. Just treat him or her as a human. Yeah, I think because there is no, to be honest, there is no, not many difference. Maybe as a game is more fashionable than other, but it doesn't mean anything to you probably, because I know some Chinese has the idea that if we have a gay guy in our room in the school, dormitory. We have a gay guy in our dormitory. We will maybe he will have some
sexual harassment.
He will have sexual harassment to me, but it's very because he's a gay man, but he won't love every male, every boy. So and when I was in university, I just because my classmates was watching straight porn in the television, so I just started to watch gay porn in front of them, and I bought a doll, kind of a sex toy toy, a guy, and it's just blow it. And I bought it and in the room, and I was very excited to take a picture with him. And my classmates are all very just to feel normal with us. Yeah. So, and I think if you have a gay friend, you probably can help him if he doesn't have a good self-identity. You can encourage him. Oh, it's okay. Don't be afraid. And I think what straight people can do, if you have if in your life you have if there is any people say bad thing about LGBT, you should stand up and tell them that I have a gay friend. They're a very good person. They're not bad people. So, if possible, maybe you can even be the volunteer of some NGOs, like in Beijing LGBT Center. About 70% of volunteers are LGBT members, but 30% of them are straight. Like there is a documentary, there's a girl, she said, I study a lot from my gay friends. And when she came to the Beijing LGBT Center, so everybody thought that she's a lesbian. So one day, a gay guy just asked her, do you have a girlfriend? So she said, I'm sorry, I have to come out to you. I'm straight. I hope you don't have discrimination to me. And this gay volunteer just hugged him and said, don't worry, we won't have a discrimination in this space.
In the first film, in your first film, there was in the dialogue a woman says, we don't have to adopt all of these foreign ideas, talking about homosexuality.
Yeah.
And then in your credits, I thought it was really interesting that you only showed photos of like foreign couples, foreign gay couples. Was this was this a conscious decision? And like, how do you think foreign ideas are influencing 同志文化 in China?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people still nowadays still a lot of Chinese people think that homosexual culture are from abroad. But actually, there is a book about homosexual culture from very long time history in China. Like maybe 2,000 years ago, there is already recorded about this, like a 断袖, like a 龙阳. It's very it's so complicated. I can't explain it to you because a lot of the emperors in China, they have a gay partner in that time. But in that time, they didn't have the name of the homosexual. They just have some idea about this. But now, and they don't have a rights movement in that time. So I think the idea of the rights movement is probably from abroad, from especially every time we have we talk about LGBT movement, and we sometimes will talk about like the Stonewall and what American people are doing here, and about some foreign films. So we don't have so much resource, and we don't have so much history about the rights movement. So I won't say we really refer a lot from Western countries about this. I hope I answered the question. Yeah. The bad.
And one final question about the funding for your activities.
Wow.
I presume that you don't make a lot of money from your filmmaking.
Yeah.
So what is the source of funding for so many activities such as the LGBT Center? Center and your film, and also coming here to use expensive to travel and to make presentations. Where do you get the money from donations or other sources?
That's a very good question. That I was thinking that there is a very important thing I should say that I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. The filmmaking of mine was in the beginning I did it with my own money. As I told you that I saved some money when I was in university. So actually this just in the second year of university, I didn't ask my parents for money because I was writing some stupid screenplay for the television. So the first two films, I just made a film by my own camera and I didn't get paid, and I just did editing on my own computer. But from the third one, because I wrote this book, so I have some readers, and they said they are my fans. So one of them just contacted me. He said he's a super film fan. He wants to do something about the film. So I think, this guy probably has some money. So I just persuaded him we should do a project together. So he just supported me, not much money, to make the documentary Chinese Closet. And for this film, Be a Woman, I got funding from a lesbian foundation called Austria, based in New York. And they gave me $4,500 to do the editing of the film, because they supported not only lesbian now, they also supported transgender people. So this documentary is about drag queen and transsexual. So I have some card here. If you guys can take some freely. And my new project about the P-Flag was also individual donation. And my sponsor is a very rich guy, and he wanted, because his boyfriend just get help from the P-Flag, so he want to give some just give some feedback to the society. So he just tried to support the P-Flag, and he was also interested in documentaries. So I talked with him for several times, and he decided to support. And also there is an interesting question to talk about the funding of the NGOs in the LGBT NGOs in China in 2009. Before 2009, and we got some funding from foreign foundation, and back in 2010 there is a new rules from the Chinese government that because most of the Chinese LGBT organizations, they were registered as a company. We can't register as a NGO. So they have a new rule from the government that you can't get funding from you can't get the donation from foreign foundation as a company. So it was very difficult in that time. But sometimes the challenges can also be an opportunity. So because we lack of money, we have to do the community fundraising. I'm still a board member of the Beijing LGBT Center. I will have to finish a certain amount of fundraising for the center. So we just had a party, like a Halloween party. We charge every people 50 RMB, and they will come to support, and we give them some present and performance. And all the party was done by volunteer. So we can, and also we founded a party every Friday night, and it becomes very popular. And we charge we suggest every people to donate 30 RMB, and with the 30 RMB you can get a drink, and also you can get buy one and get one free. So a lot of people just do the donation. So the Senate got about $1,500 US each month from that party. So and we also do some promotion in the gay bar, and who come to support, and more people started to know basically LGBT Center. We got funding at the same time. We also have more people to enjoy our service. So I think the situation that now the community becomes more and more supportive this time. This year, the LA Gay Lesbian Center board member has a group of 13 people visit China, and they were very surprised that we have 40 volunteers come to help, do the translator, do the guide, and give them a lot of help. So we are very proud that the community become more and more strong.
First of all, thank you so much for coming to the Monterey Institute to talk with us and share your films. I wanted to ask a question about violence against gay and lesbian people in China. A moment ago you mentioned that China has a culture where people sort of mind their own business and don't really bother people if it doesn't really have anything to do with you. And as I'm watching these two films, the first one I've seen before, some time ago, but as I'm watching these two films and watching these very brave activists out in the street, it occurs to me that there are plenty of places in this country, right now, where people would be quite fearful of being victims of violent attack by bystanders that could be around them, whether it's doing simulated same-sex marriage and photography, or whether it's riding around with rainbow flags or whatever. And it was interesting to hear what one of the spectators in the Xinqianmen Jiehun mentioned that homosexuality comes from the West. Somebody, this young man over here mentioned this idea of importing culture, right? But it seems to me that what the real import is probably not so much homosexuality, but homophobia. I mean, that's probably this sort of modern form of homophobia, which seems in some ways to, even as the movement strengthens, so that the gay rights movement can strengthen, but at the same time, what also strengthens is opposition, right? So I wonder if you think that there's any possibility that violence against gay and lesbian people actually could increase in China as the gay rights movement actually grows and becomes stronger.
Yeah. That's what we already realized this, and as we don't have to first of all, we do have a hate crime in China, but usually doesn't towards the gay and lesbian people. Usually transgender people can be more dangerous because people can recognize they are different with straight people, and also like some of the transgender people, they don't have a job, so they become a sex worker, and some of the customers just find that they are not a real woman, so they might be hate crime to her, and I know some of my I have some transsexual sex workers has that kind of experience. Also, the hate crime usually happens inside the family. I know some of the examples that a lesbian come to her parents. Her parents just beat her and locked her in the room, not let her to go outside, and then lesbian just killed herself. Yeah, I think it's a very terrible crime, and. We don't have, for gay and lesbian people, if you walk on the street, probably people can't recognize if you're gay or not. And also because of the culture, he has mentioned that it's not like people always say it's not my business. And usually, sometimes I wear these t-shirts walking on the street and even in the subway. I was standing there and the subway, there is someone just sitting there. We're always watching at these several words. I don't have much problem, but so there is another reason, probably because so far people doesn't have many ideas about what is LGBT. So as LGBT people become more and more visible in China, and they do have got some crime, and I don't know how to say that. I got some crime from internet. My own blog, there were always some people left some very bad comments on my blog. So before that I have to clean my blog, but now I didn't do that. I just said you will see how ugly they are, how the homophobia they are so ugly, and they were saying a lot of the dirty word. And also this year there was something happened in China, becomes very mad. Gay topic become very popular issue. That one of the famous actresses, she's a Christian, and she because in New York the same-sex marriage was legal. So there was a very conservative priest. He just said something. Oh, this country is, we should save this country. There are most states become same-sex marriage become legal in more and more states. It's really bad. So this actress, she's a Christian herself. So she just reports this mini blog, and she just against the LGBT community. We were surprised that we were really so we all come out to against her, and we were surprised that a lot of people and straight people and even some celebrities in China, they come to support gay people on the very popular Sina mini blog, and even the Chinese Central Television is the biggest media in China. They had a small news about this to support LGBT people, and but the news is in the midnight. They didn't want to that many people to know it, but it's already very big improved compared with say nothing about this. I think we should get prepared for all the maybe more and more crime happens. As an activist, and I sometimes sometimes I should remind. We will have a kind of a security training at the end of October to the LGBT activists in China. And we got funding from the international organization called Frontline. They help all the human rights people to do the security training. And before we go to the Tiananmen Street to do that campaign, we were all nervous and even scared. We don't know what will happen. Maybe we just caught by the policeman and the whole organization just shut down. But after the event, and it happens during the event, we were really excited and we just forgot that. It just said, oh, we did it, and people, and especially when people got good feedback to you, and you know that there are still people who want to support you. And after that event, we were even more inspired. So I think it's also changed my life and always make me to more trust my work more and more. Yeah.
Everyone would like to talk more on this topic. We're actually going to Lollapalooza like now. I think everyone can use nice drink, some wine, some food. But I have a few thank yous before I let you all go. But please join us at Lollapalooza if you can. I'd like to thank, obviously, Popo for coming here and speaking to us. It's a great opportunity. And also Professor Scott Myers for introducing us to this contact. He kind of helped us set this all up. And also to the Chinese Student Association. I really appreciate this coalition tonight. It's a great combination for a great topic. And thank you all for coming as well. Like, student support is really key for our organization, and I really appreciate the diversity of this audience. And thank you very much. And please join us at Lollapalooza.
Remember to thank the badge and the card here. Yeah.
Funny, that was